Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, if you have any questions, we can deal with it. Yes. Or if you have written the question, I can read it out. There are questions.
Pranam Swamini ji. My English is second language, so my question is little lengthy. So, if we look around us, we found everything have a life, and one day all die. Example, person walking next to you and myself, one day going to die. But before die, due to God creation, some make new babies for next generation, who has everything same what we have, eye to see, mouth to speak. So if you look more around us, then elephant make elephant, cow make cow, bird make bird, snake make snake, all sea creature make sea creature. So now, if you look in a tree, seed of the tree makes trees, make similar tree, flower make flower, grass make grass.
So grass grows from grass, you mean that?
Yeah, grass make grass. So what I'm trying to bring it, butterfly make butterfly. So all have a life, all born to die. All have Atma. Like we have an Atma only. So one day we all born and all going to die, and everything around people, life, their tree and everything, they die. So like a car without a gas, dead. Torch without battery, no light. So why not we just accept the way the God created us? Why we completed our knowledge to separate than other life around us is different and say our Atma is different. Atma is separate than our body. So now if we look in a modern science found around us, is a billion and billion galaxy. We might do not have that divine vision to understand all, like in the Gita, Lord Krishna said to Arjuna about the divine eyes. So my question is, why we making completed our life that Atma is separate from us?
Separate from what? Atma is separate from what? From the body. See, we are Atma, so us means Atma. When you say why Atma is different from us, why? That is your question, no? Your question is so long, so make it short and tell me what you want to ask.
My question is that there is no Atma. They all be born to die, that's it. There is no separate thing Atma goes somewhere else and then go to another birth. I don't believe that. That's
no, see, what is dying and what is being born is not Atma. Body is getting born and body is subject to death. Body means this instrument. Body of everyone, whether it is a human being or any other species. In everybody's case, in all these bodies, bodies are subject to being born. It is the birth is always of the body. And death is also of the body. Understand, Atma, the consciousness, is never born, never dies. So Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is also grieving for this, that in this battle everybody will die. And in some ways I will be responsible for that. So he wants to withdraw from the battle. So Lord Krishna had to teach him that birth is not of Atma. Atma doesn't come at a time. See, in case of body, say you were born at a certain time, say June 9, supposing. So that means that body was not prior to that time. And death means after a certain time, that body will not be in that form. So that cannot apply to Atma, because in that case Atma will become what? Temporary. It was not there at a certain time, will not be after a certain time. Atma is eternal, nitya, unborn. Birth is always of the body. And when you are ignorant of the nature of the self, and what is the nature of the self? Happiness, fullness, which we are discussing. Atma, consciousness, is just one, and it is of the nature of happiness, fullness, completeness. But when you don't know this, naturally there will be desires. There will be desires. Ignorance of the truth, that is ignorance of I. By I don't mean the body. By I mean the self, the consciousness. Not knowing what its true nature is, that I am already full, complete, and there is nothing other than me. When you don't know this, and when you take yourself to be this limited body, which is subject to birth and death and so many changes in between. Birth is one thing, death is another thing. But between the birth and death, you go through so many changes. Body goes through it grows and grows and grows, and then degenerates, goes down and down and down. And then one day, body dies. All that applies to body. And when you don't know the nature of the Atma, that it is fullness, as I said, there will be desires. From desires, actions will be born. And when you perform an action, you will get the result. So, ignorance from ignorance, desires from desires, actions to fulfill those desires. And when you perform actions, then there will be result. Again, from the result, there will be further actions. In this way, ignorance gives rise to the body. Body is given so that you go and fulfill your desires. But the situation is that in the process of fulfilling a desire, you wind up with many desires, many actions, many results. And that is how this chain, one body, another body, that continues. But all the while, understand, the self, the Atma, is never born. Death is of the body. Body dies. There is never the death or birth of Atma.
But my clear picture is that like a seed. If you have a seed of the tree, the seed makes the tree.
So see, you mean to say that tree gives birth to another tree.
That's right.
Yes.
The elephant makes the another
Understand.
elephant.
I understand.
The
So
man
what?
make the another man. So all whatever we have, the duplicate person who born have everything. So it's not like the special Atma come to the body, because when man make the man, everything come with the eyes, with the sound and everything. So I don't understand, okay, when you mention all about that, this karma and desire, this is a part of the life. Whatever you action, you're going to get the result. But there is no Atma.
Atma.
Everything is, if you look at all this flower, if you look all this around us, everything have a life. And everything die one day.
Yes, but
So
that
why are we making Atma for only human being?
Atma is there even in tree. Atma is there even in elephant. Atma is there even in sand. Atma is there. Atma is everywhere. There is not a single thing in this creation where Atma is not. We just said.
Why you mention we have to born again and again?
When you understand this, when you don't know what this Atma is, see, you are Atma. Huh? You are Atma. But if you don't know, and what is the nature of Atma? Fullness, complete. You are not just bound or limited or circumscribed, understand this well, to the body. But you don't know this. You are taking yourself to be the body, that to be tree, that to be elephant, that to be mosquito. So you think that these are independent things and there is no Atma in them. It is not like that. Everything is nothing but Atma, but they are born, these bodies are given to them in the form of birth so that they fulfill their desires. But in the process of fulfilling a desire, you wind up with many desires and many actions. See, birth of a body, understand this. Birth of a body is because this Atma has desires. And why the desires are there? Because ignorance. What ignorance? Ignorance of the nature of I, myself. When I don't know that I am happy, I am already full, complete, there is absolutely no limitation in me. When I don't know this fact, I want to be complete. I want to be happy. Understand? This much, do you agree? You want to be happy. How will you be happy? Some instrument, some cause has to be there. And for that, this body is given. You follow?
I try to say my way is different. I give you an example. When you go to the car manufacturing company, they build a car. Every 10 minutes they build one car. And they put the gas. The car have life. So whatever the God create, we don't know who created us, but I mentioned to you a billion and billion galaxies because now we know, I don't know who is this God who create all different things. But in our world, everything around us have a life and all have to die. Why are we making a complicated our life and believing that we're going to born again, we're going to born again, we're going to born again? It's a simple. Like you make a car, you put the gas, and one day it dies. That's it. Done. You put in garbage. That's it.
But death, I only differ from you in this, that it is not the death of Atma. Death is of the body. Death is not of Atma. Birth is also not of Atma. And this is not my personal view. This is the view, the truth declared by Upanishads, which are pramanam. You are going by perception, that this is born and that is born. We don't disagree with that. Things are born. Bodies are born. But I am saying this, that Atma is not born. It is becoming complicated for you because you don't see Atma. And you see the bodies.
Yes.
That is why you go by this. I am not saying that that is not correct. Bodies are definitely born. Constantly in this creation, every moment things are being born. They remain, they go. They are coming, they remain, they go. Yes, I agree. But that is at the level of non-self. That is at the level of non-self. It is not Atma. Atma is the reality where nothing is being born. It is never born. It is ever there. Birth means it was not, this particular body was not there at a certain time. Atma was very much there. So, I think you need to, the basics need to be cleared.
My second question is that you mentioned about there is a 5 chapter of upasana.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what in this upasana, you say first you have to read 5 chapter of upasana to understand everything.
There are 5 chapters pertaining to upasana.
Right.
Upasana means worship, mental worship.
And what they are.
Mental worship means, upasana means, see, an idea is given about an Isvara. And the student or the worshipper mentally worships. He focuses, let us take the example of Dakshinamurti ji here. This is the God here. And if I want to do upasana upon this, then I need to know what Dakshinamurti is, what his form is like, what are the 4 hands for, and then I focus my mind upon that. I try to tune up with that, so much so that I become one with it mentally. That is called upasana. But it is a practice, or it is given so that mind, the principle behind, the theme behind this is so that the mind develops the capacity to focus. And of course, when you do this, you get Ishvara's blessings also, grace also, you come close to the object of your meditation. That also happens. But this is the main principle. And when the mind is focused, for Upanishad, what is important is, it is necessary to make the mind focused, so that that capacity of the mind to get focused can be very well utilized when the teaching of the Atma is given. Understood? Yeah. That is the reason. That is why so many upasanas are given in the first 5 chapters.
So each chapter have different...
Different.
Can you give me a little example for each one so I can understand?
See, in the very first chapter there is Omkara Upasana, then there is Shandilya Upasana, Gayatri Upasana, then there is Samsarga Vidya, so many upasanas are there. And actually those upasanas, are they are not that easy to perform. Nowadays we are not familiar with those ideas. Nowadays if they give us an image of Lord Krishna or Shiva, Ganesha, we are familiar with these kinds of concepts. In olden days, they used to, at that time, these concepts of Rama, Krishna, Ganesha, they were not there. They all came after Puranas were written. These concepts were not there. So different things were given, with which we are not familiar today. They used to even meditate upon nature, could see some connection there. So that kind of upasanas are there. I have some questions here. There is a question. We understand Sat is the beginning of our world's existence. What is the reason for the world to come into existence? See, world has come into being. As I said, in the absence of the knowledge of the Atma, there are bound to be desires. When you don't know what you are, you look for happiness. And so, world is given as a platform to fulfill your desires. World has come as an answer, as a response to your need, as a response to the need of the jivas. So the world has come about due to that. Plus, we understand Sat is the beginning of our world's existence. Sat is not the beginning. From Sat it has come. Sat is not the beginning. Sat is from, in fact, we said that from Sat itself, things came. Sat is not the beginning of everything. Sat itself is not created. When you write like this, it means that Sat is first created and then the world came. No. Sat is already there. And from it, the names and forms came about. What is the need? Need is only so that the jivas, their desires may be fulfilled. Like, supposing the parents, they bring so many toys for children, take them for vacation. Parents do all kinds of things to fulfill the desires of children. Why? Because children have desires. So parents provide a format for that wherein they can fulfill their desires. In some such manner, the world is given. Jivas has desires to see, to hear, to smell, so many different things. So sense organs are given here. Sense objects, vishayas, are given outside. So that is how jivas try to fulfill their need. So world has come about as a need. Understood? Then, is Samadhi a continuous state of deep sleep? No. Deep sleep is different, Samadhi is different. They look similar, but very big difference is there. In deep sleep, you have just glided into deep sleep. In Sushupti, you have gone because you were tired and you went away into deep sleep. That time you are not aware. You are very much there. But mind is sleeping, intellect is sleeping. All these instruments are withdrawn. So you don't know anything. Whereas in Samadhi, it is a mind and intellect and sense organ, everything has become quiet. They are not sleeping. Everything is become quiet. Why? Because very happy. They don't see any need to register their presence. So at that time, just as in deep sleep, only consciousness is there. Similarly, in Samadhi also, only consciousness is there. And this consciousness is conscious. So, and it is self-revealing. This thing or this thing, things like this are not self-revealing. They need a light to be illumined. But consciousness doesn't need any other light for it to be known. And so it knows, I am, I am, I am. I am not aware of something, but I am. Which is that I am not the individual. I am means self, consciousness, is. This is Samadhi. In Sushupti also consciousness is, but not aware. Means it doesn't know that time knowledge is not there. It is something that has come about by grace of God. By nature's grace, it is the work of nature. So Sushupti is there. But in Samadhi, you consciously go to that state. You consciously withdraw your mind, not force it to be quiet. Happily, the mind is quiet. Intellect is quiet. And you know that we are doing this in guided meditation. This morning we did. I am nothing but happiness. Now if this persists for a long time, and mind is happy to just, and doesn't raise any thoughts, no restlessness, nothing, and just remains like that, then that is Samadhi. Where Samadhi means very well, the mind and everything is resolved, and you are just with consciousness. You are with consciousness, that also we cannot say. Just consciousness. And that consciousness, I am. It is self-revealing. Doesn't need any other light from behind to say that you are. It is self-revealing. Just as we have no Swayambhu Linga. Nobody created such lingas. There are 12 Jyotirlingas are supposed to be there. Nobody has created them. They are Swayambhu. They came about on their own. Just an example I am giving. Similarly, for Atma, nobody has created. It is, and it knows that it is. So Sat means it is, and Chit means it knows. It knows also that it is. So this question is answered, I suppose. Then, Hari Om Swamiji, in Shloka 632, Atma enters Jiva body by way of identification. Doer Atma misidentifies with Jiva, or is it the Jiva not able to identify with Atma? Does it is, no? Huh? Does Atma misidentify with Jiva? No. What happens is, Atma takes himself to be the body. Atma, when getting reflected, see, buddhi is there. And in the buddhi, two vrittis are there. One vritti is aham vritti. Other vritti is idam vritti. Aham vritti is ahankara. Now that vritti, in intellect itself, in mind itself, these two vrittis are there. One is aham vritti, one is idam vritti. Aham vritti means ahankara. And idam vritti means you. Huh? So now, this aham vritti is very powerful. It is such a vritti, such a thought of the mind, that it can reflect the consciousness. Just as water reflects sun. Similarly, this aham vritti reflects Atma. So Atma is getting reflected in the aham vritti. And because of that vritti, even though by nature it is inert, jadam, because anatma, it is jadam, but because of that reflection of Atma, it becomes chaitanya. Understood? Just as the reflection of sun is falling in a bucket of water. Then sometimes what children do, they adjust that water in such a way that through that they throw light somewhere else. And the children play this kind of pranks. You receive the light from here and then they throw it in the friend's house, the light. Similarly, the Atma's reflection is falling in the aham vritti. Because of that, first of all, aham vritti became live. Then the entire buddhi became live. Then the mind. Then sense organs. Then the body. In sequence, the entire complex which is inert became live, chaitanya. They gained this chaitanya. Thanks to what? Thanks to Atma. Thanks to Atma getting reflected inside. But they remain jadam. But because of this light, it has got reflected. But then I make the mistake. Atma itself makes the mistake. What mistake? It thinks that I am this. Because it is live. It is now moving, thinking. It has become live. So Atma thinks that it is I. And that is called entry. Sun reflected in the water and thinks, I am there. I am that. That is called entry. Entry without entry. Sun means there is no other. That reflection is whose reflection? Tell me. Sun. Sun's reflection in water. Now this fellow looks there, looks where? In the water. And what is getting reflected there? Itself. This one itself is getting reflected here. There is no one else. So who is ignorant? This one thinks I am there, and that is Jiva. Understood? Forgot that I am this. And who I am? In the body. In the sun thinks I am in that pool of water. And what is that pool of water? Subtle body. Bucket is the gross body. In the bucket, there is water. That water is in the place of subtle body, Sukshma Sharira, which mind and all that. So Atma gets reflected in where? In subtle body or gross body? Subtle body. Huh? There it gets. But the mistake that is made, that I am that, had the mistake not been made, he would very well know I am here. I have no need to worry. Understood? This is called entry. You got your answer? Somewhat. See, supposing I am looking in the mirror, and mirror have certain cracks. And so my mind, my face looks distorted. But then what do I think if I am ignorant? What will I think? I will have to go to a plastic surgeon and get my face repaired. I will have to do something. At that time, what has happened? What has happened? I took the reflection, my own reflection in the mirror as I. Had I known that I am getting reflected in the mirror and mirror has problem, not me, then I would not be worried. But because I think I am that, you follow? That is Jiva. Chit abhasa. Jiva is called Chidabhasa. Jiva is nothing but Atma. But Atma taking itself to be limited to the body is Jiva. Understand this very well. Atma taking itself to be the limited body, limited mind, limited intellect is called Jiva. There is no other Jiva. There is no entity called Jiva other than Atma mistaking itself to be what? This. So, if you, so many Jivas, means what? Atma taking himself to be woman, man, this, that. That is what ignorance does. You got your answer? You got it, no? Then, Pranam Swami, I have 2 questions. It's done, no? Oh, thank you. Then, Swaminiji, you said some to what sakshi is, it's not clear to me what is written. Huh? Clarity. You shared some clarity as to what sakshi is. It seems that sometimes Shruti, Atma, sakshi, sometimes we are asked to adopt sakshi bhava. Okay. Sakshi means what? Atma, consciousness. Here, as I said, there are 2, where I take to be 1. Actually, there are 2. One is the anatma, non-self. And what is non-self? Body, mind, intellect, all this is non-self, anatma, inert. And there is another one which is atma, consciousness. So when just as I see this object, I am sakshi of this, witness of this. You are getting what I am saying? I am seeing this, this is seen, I am seer. Similarly, do I see my hand? So I am the seer, this is seen. Who is this seer? Atma. Consciousness. There is no consciousness in the body. So Atma is the seer of the body plus of the thoughts going on in the mind. There are thoughts coming and going, one by one by one. Seer illumines them. Seer means the principle of light. Atma is self-revealing. It illumines every thought. Just as, from the projector, the light goes and on the screen one by one reel comes. Similarly, because of Atma's light, there are these thoughts in the mind and Atma illumines them. So that Atma is called seer, sakshi. Sakshi means it is different from sakshya. You are different from what you see. So when you can maintain this difference, that these thoughts are in the mind, these judgments are in the intellect, body is old, body is young, body has stomachache, headache, blood pressure, diabetes. You are seeing this as sakshi. Sakshi sees all this. And sakshi, the seer, is different from seen. So sakshi bhava means I must keep in mind that I am different from the body and the problems of the body, which means I am different from this. If you can maintain this sakshi bhava, means witness, you remain a witness, then there is no problem. But moment I get attached, this is happening to me. I have blood pressure, body has blood pressure, and I should do something about it. But when I say it is happening to me, then I have brought the Atma to the level of the body. Then I no more remain sakshi. Even though it illumines, Atma illumines, but still it gets attached. Like the actor, to give you a simpler example. Actor is different from the beggar, is different from the role that he plays. But supposing he goes on the stage, actor, and he has to play the role of the beggar. And supposing before going to the stage, he took too many drinks. He drank a lot of alcohol. And so now he's totally intoxicated. Now what happens? This actor, Amitabh Bachchan, forgets that I am the actor playing the role of the beggar and thinks that I am beggar. And now when somebody insults him, somebody insults in the drama, which is bound to be according to the script. But today, Amitabh, this actor, got violent. Who are you to insult me? That time, when it is insulted, when the beggar is insulted, he took that I am insulted. He forgot that he is playing the role. So no more remained an actor, became the role. That is called identification. Similarly here, when I forget I am consciousness, I am witness, I am seer, and get attached with the scene, then sakshi bhava is not there. Understood? Then I no more remain as sakshi. I become as good as what I see. If the mind is angry, I am angry. If the mind is sorrowful, I am sorrowful. So I become as good as mind, as good as body, as good as my intellect. Whereas, actually, there is a distance. I am witness. This lamp is there. In Panchadashi, there is a text called Panchadashi, in which the author, Vidyaranya Swami, gives this example of a lamp. Lamp in a hall. The lamp is there. And in the hall, different programs are going on. First, there is program of dance. The dancer came and the musicians were there. Lamp illumines everything. All the mudras and bhava and abhinaya and footstep and everything of the dancer and the musicians and everyone and audience, everything is being illumined by the lamp. Then next program is musical program. So singers come and sing different ragas, Bhairavi, Bhairav, so many things, Malcolms, so many ragas are going on. Lamp illumines that also. Lamp is not in any way connected with what is going on. What is the duty or the function of the lamp? To merely throw light. Just that. Not get attached to the dancer. not get attached to the musician. Exactly the same way. I am that lamp. Atma is that lamp, sort of, which illumines what? Dance of the sense organs, dance of the mind. They are dancing, going out, coming in. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes cry. All this Atma illumines. But if the lamp got identified with the dancer and it also started jumping, then what will happen? It will no more remain the lamp. Similarly here, if I get identified, then I suffer. So there is a distance between the seer and the seen. If we maintain this distance, I am seer, 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 witness, just witness, asangaha, unrelated, not in any way related, totally detached. That is sakshi bhava. But sakshi bhava, to be very frank, we can maintain that sakshi bhava. First we learn everything, make our mind very pure, very sattvic, then sakshi bhava is possible. Otherwise, I am bound to get attached with what I see. With a tamasic and rajasic mind, with a mind which is very full of tamas. Tamas means, anger is there, violence is there, laziness is there, lack of sensitivity is there. That mind cannot maintain sakshi bhava. If the mind is rajasic, which means full of activity, is restless. Some people are very restless. They cannot sit quiet. Mind is also not quiet, body is also constantly, one by one, ideas come and they want to do, very ambitious. That is called rajas. There is a lot of greed there, lot of action there, lot of ambitions there. Even that kind of mind cannot maintain sakshi bhava, cannot maintain that distance. Which mind, scriptures say this, Which mind can maintain this? Mind which is pure, full of devotion. Mind which is knowing all this. It has become pure, it has the right values, attitudes, shama, dhamma, uparati, titiksha, all this is there. Then you can maintain sakshi bhava, not otherwise. This is just by the way. Can ahankara then assume the role of, what is that word? Sakshi. Ahankara is not sakshi. Ahankara, as I said, it is not sakshi. Atma is sakshi. But when the mind is pure, yes, ahankara can be raised to that level. Then day by day, slowly, ahankara becomes less and less. Yes, then it can perform this role. When, with knowledge, ahankara comes to know my reality is sakshi, my reality is atma, then ahankara is going now. Ahankara is getting depleted. Then this sakshi bhava is possible. Then it is possible. Because the reality of ahankara is nothing but, ahankara is not mithya. Reality of it is atma. To take myself to be body is ahankara. To take myself to be this person, woman, man, officer, engineer, doctor, this, that, is ahankara. But when I know that all that is body, not me, that is why Bhashyakara says, Name mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittani naham. I am not any of this. I am pure Chidananda Rupaha, consciousness. Take the mic.
Hari Om. I heard somewhere that whether it's Shiv Sutra or Shandilya, that chaitanya is Atma છે.
It is correct. Chaitanya itself is Atma.
Atma, or that reflection.
Chaitanya gets reflected in the mind. Wherever there is purity, it will get reflected. And purity will be there in subtle body. But Chaitanya, whether it gets reflected or not, it is Atma. It is Atma. Chaitanya. Chaitanya means what I am aware. This awareness, how did you come to know? Which generator is there behind? Here there is light because of the electricity. And even if electricity goes, there may be inverter here. So, with the help of that you see. But that we are talking, walking, seeing, which inverter is there? Inside. Atma. The real light, the real principle of light is nothing but consciousness. And that is Chaitanya.
Thank you. So, last thing, I'm sorry. So, where does this surrender comes when all of this is of pure consciousness? So, say for example, does it? Of course, it's a different topic, but like Krishna consciousness and all those stuff, right? So, a surrender ama ke ritna kamma ave?
Surrender means Sharanagati?
Sharanagati, yes.
Sharanagati, it's not that it cannot come in the branch of knowledge. It's not like that. Lord Krishna himself says, in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Means ego surrendering itself to the truth or Isvara. Now truth may be Saguna Brahma, Bhagavan, or Nirguna Brahma. But still, even though I know I'm Atma, I'm the self, but still, because of the past samskaras of ignorance, it doesn't settle that easily. Every so often we come back to our old habitual way of thinking. I'm ego, I'm woman, I'm this, I'm that, I'm mother, I'm wife, I'm son, I'm father. Like that we come back. Now that is actually ego, but still it is difficult for that to go. Why? Because habitually I take, habit dies hard. Habit, they say, die hard. And this is the habit of not 1 or 2 years, of the whole life, and not just one life. We may have spent many such lives. So that notions of taking the body to be I are very strong. Very, very strong. So, we surrender to the truth itself. Please help me remove these notions. That is where prayer comes. So you recognize a higher authority, which has all the power. And you pray to them that please, I cannot do it. I know I am Atma, but still I am not able to own that up. I am not able to accept that. That is not becoming reality for me. So what to do? Either I give up. No, I cannot. I cannot make it. I will not be able to make it. Either I can say that, or Swamiji says beautifully, living intelligently is seeking help when required. Living intelligently is seeking help when required. We cannot proceed on our own, and still we don't take help. Either ego is too big to seek help, but here we are seeking help of whom? No human being, Isvara himself, who has all the powers, all the knowledge, and he knows my problems in and out. So, it is very pragmatic to pray, very intelligent to pray. And once you start praying, that itself is big grace. You can pray only when there is grace. not otherwise. Otherwise, we don't believe in Isvara also. It's not easy. That melting should happen. It's not easy. You require grace for that. And grace can come when you pray. Pray. That is Sharanagati. Bhaktas, they just give in. I cannot do anything. You do everything. So Bhaktas are very intelligent. Very intelligent they are. That is what it is. So, shall we now? We need not switch off, make it dim, lights. Any question now? Or we can just... Okay. You repeat after me. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Everybody please sing, huh? Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Hara Hara Shankara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Shankara Mahadeva. Deva. Hara 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 Mahadeva. Hara 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 Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Shiva 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 Sada Shiva. Shiva 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 Sada Shiva. Shiva Mahadeva Sada Shiva. Sada Shiva Mahadeva. Deva. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Namah Parvati Hara Hara. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Namah Hara 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 Shankara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Shankara Mahadeva. Hara 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 Mahadeva. Mahadeva. Hara 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 Mahadeva. Mahadeva. Hara 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 Mahadeva. Deva. Shiva 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 Sada Shiva. Om Shiva. Om Shiva 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 Sada Shiva. Shiva Mahadeva Sada Shiva. शिवा सदा शिवा महादेवा देवा नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर नमः पतये हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 शंकर महादेवा हर हर शंकर महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 देवा हर 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 महादेवा 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 शिव 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 सदा शिवा ओम सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा सदा शिवा महादेवा देवा नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 शंकर महादेवा So everybody just sit back and pray to Isvara that may he bless me always with pure thoughts and mind, and may I proceed on this path of self-discovery. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.